Welcome back. I am all dirty. That means I'm gonna have to get it even more dirty and work on the car. Today I'm going to be looking inside this engine that has 216,000 miles. It still runs perfectly, but it needs some love. So stay tuned. So since I got this car, it drives fine. No issues with it. But what I did notice, there is quite a bit of oil on the ground when the car sits. And this car has been sitting in this place for about 3 weeks and it hasn't moved. So last time I checked on it, there was quite a bit of oil on the floor. And I haven't seen what's happening right now under the car. So I'm gonna have to check out the car and see what's happening. So the plan for today is to warm up the car, flush it, flush the engine, drain the oil, then replace the oil pan, because I suspect that's the culprit for the oil leak, since it's plastic and all the plastic oil pans, no one likes them. They always go bad. And then put it back together, add some additives, and one thing I wanted to note is the serial number of the engine, because I want to know if this engine it's original engine or it hasn't been replaced, which I suspect this is the original engine still in here. I'll be curious to know if they replaced it sometime on the 216 miles trips. Well, first things first, I need to put in the battery here, because I took the battery off of this car to put into the Golf R so I can drive it off the trailer. And I have that car from the battery of the Golf R charging right now, because that one was dead, and I did a refresh or repair battery mode. I have the charger that does the stuff. I'll link it in the description below. So if you're interested, you might get it one for yourself. So let me get the engine. By the way, this is the charger that I'm using to restore batteries. It has charging for different batteries, for STD, not the medical condition. AGM battery or gel battery, the wet batteries for motorcycles, and also it has the repair function, which I'm using this for quite a lot. Okay. So, battery is on. And now I can lift the car. So I'm gonna use these jacks right here. I need to put one on the other side and jack up the whole car. So, as now we have the car off the ground, all the way elevated and secured. Yank on it, make sure it doesn't move anywhere. And now I want to see under the car, because I'm pretty sure there's quite a lot of oil. So let's see what's there. Da-da-da-da. Yep, our puddle of oil. So I'm gonna wipe it, get a creeper. I'm gonna go underneath and inspect everything, because I know there is something vibrating. I suspect it's the shaft that goes from the transmission to the rear differential, but I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, I'm not a mechanic. I'm just a dude who tries to poke fingers into shit and see if it works. The first thing that you want to inspect whenever you can have your car in air, and especially if it's a new car, and especially if you bought it from the auction like I did, you want to check your wheel bearings if they're good. So the way you do it is grab your tire from below and the top, and then you just yank it. If you see it move, then most likely the bearing is bad, and especially if you try to move it and then you hear the noise, the same thing, bearing is bad. If you move it from left to right, versus this one is solid. That's how you track your tie rod. So it's good. I already tracked the other side, it's also good. Let me check the back. Good as well. Alright, the puddle has been cleaned. Now let's check what's happening with the rest of the stuff. Okay, so we have some seepage over here. Oh, the transmission oil is also leaking. That's the DSG. This is the infamous oil pan. Obviously the gasket is done. So that's what I'm gonna replace. I just hope that this thing is not leaking, because I couldn't find anywhere any gaskets or any seals that I need to install here to prevent this from leaking. So I hope that one will not leak if I'm gonna replace it. No. What's that? That's the power steering. The flex pipe is good. Okay, here we have the shaft that we can try. It's actually pretty solid. Huh. Okay. And let's try this side. No, this one has a little plate. Yeah. There is a bearing inside there. But it's definitely... I can move it. Not by much, but I can. Okay, here we have the resonator. The fuel tank is over it. And this is the rear differential, also the Heldex system and the thing for it. Then we have a U-split for the exhaust. Oh look, I have this thing rusted through and it doesn't hold to anything. Oh, that's not great. Not clips or nothing. This is also missing a clip, and over there as well. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to get new heat shields for this car. Yeah, it's a little rusty, not too much, not too bad. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Obviously, I'm gonna be taking everything out of here, and oh, that's the heat shield again. Oh, it's okay. I will take care of it later. Then we have this, and yeah, nothing really interesting around here. This is really gonna make this car quiet, but I do have the hitch, which is a really nice addition that not many cars like this have it. And the plug is, well, this whole car is gonna go in the paint booth before I put everything from the Golf R in it. But yep, pretty much everything, it looks fine. Let me see, how do I remove this thing? Oh, it's a little tight over here to get to these 3 bolts, because they are the ones holding the shaft, unless I can use the these sockets. Remove these bolts, and then I'm gonna remove the whole thing, and maybe that's the way I'm going to install the new one. Here is one of the things I'm gonna have a problem with, because that bolt is a little rusty, and I'm gonna have to use the bolt extractor to remove it. Alright. The rest is not too bad. Yep. Yeah. It is, everything around here is a little rusty and crusty. Flaking off a lot of things. The bushings, they don't look too bad. They can still be used. Probably, not probably, most likely this car has been driven in a lot of salty areas. That's why we have all of this stuff that we have. Yeah, this one, I don't know how it's even holding, but it looks like it's gonna fall off as soon as I take the exhaust off, and this thing is still holding. Okay, these bushings are good too. I still see salt on it, so that's from the winter driving. Probably no one ever washed this car from underneath. That's okay. Up front, not okay. So the one thing I did notice is different is that this knuckle is made out of steel, and the knuckle in the Golf R is made out of aluminum, and it's actually really light aluminum. And it also has this access port, which is kind of weird, but anyway, everything looks fine. Nope. The ball joints are fine, which is probably not the greatest thing to replace on these cars. The suspension, like, it's not the best. Not the strong suit of this car, but anyway. Okay. I should take off this cover so I can first see more, and I need to have that access so that I can remove all these bolts on the other side. But I'm pretty sure the leak is from this side of the oil pan, and that's the gasket that failed. I hope that thing didn't fail. I'm gonna have to get the towel and wipe this whole thing out before I start disassembling. So let me do that. Alright, so I have removed the underbelly cover. So from here, what you can see, that looks like this gasket over here is not doing such a great job keeping the oil inside. But it's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna replace it. Yeah, this is definitely the gasket over here, or this thing. It feels very soft. It also feels like it can rip apart. Then up there is some wetness over here. So probably from the valve cover. Yep, that's a really the valve cover. That's where we have the another oil leak, which I'm also not going to take care of because this car just has to survive through the winter. And then when the summer comes, I'm going to start disassembling everything out of here and actually selling, so that I can recoup some of the expenses on this project and maybe invest that money towards this car. Because I would need to have new plastic pieces for the bumper. I do need a new bumper for the Golf R bumper, because since I don't have it, and some other pieces like this belly I wanted to get from the Golf All-Track. It's gonna be more durable for the oil pan, and it's gonna actually cover the whole oil pan instead of leaving it like it is right now. So yeah, so now the time has come to warm up the car, add the additive to flush the engine, and then drain it, remove it, and install the new one. So this is the engine flush that I'm going to be using in this car. It says that its minimum oil fillings is 3 liters or 3.7 US quarters of oil is required for this. It says doesn't actually specify if I should add this additive when the engine is warm or when it's cold. It only says let the engine run on idle speed for 10 minutes. Drain oil, change filter, and refill with fresh oil of high quality. This contents is sufficient for 5 liters or 5.28 quarters of oil. I think I'm gonna fill it, start the car, and let it idle for 10 minutes or until it's up to temperature. First, I need to remove my fancy Golf R engine cover and set it aside. I'm not gonna throw it like the other time. I'm gonna use it. Yeah, it actually doesn't look as busy as it was. Oh, So this is where the oil leak is coming from this cover, timing cover, not the oil. Actually, it could be not even from there. I believe it could be from filling the oil in a bad way. So see over here, it looks good. Let's check the oil level first. Okay, first we wipe it. The oil is very dark. So I don't know when they last changed the oil, but it's not looking good. And it is overfilled at the moment, so it'll be good to change the oil and drain this whole thing. See if I can do another part. Okay. Okay, let's go start it up. I'm opening the garage. Yeah, it's probably what it's like for people who have lifted trucks to get in the car. It's really tall. Okay, so we are right now at 216,740 miles. Okay. Need to push the brake in. And that's new. Well, I also didn't have the battery on, so all these errors are probably from the battery being disconnected, and I hope they will be shown back as available. There was no battery for a whole week or two, so now I'm just gonna have to wait. Right now it's 9:09 on this clock, although it is not 9 o'clock. So we're back at 9:19. Alright, it's 9:19. The oil temperature, the coolant temperature is quite creeping up. I'm gonna let it run just a little bit. I want it to reach the operating temperature, and then I'm gonna shut it off. One of the things that I noticed, and I'm kind of impressed, is the seats. For 216,000 miles, and they're not clean. But like this is, the foam inside is still pretty firm. The only thing is that this cloth material ripped a little bit, and then just in this one area, like over here, when you're always moving in and out of the car, it's pretty solid, pretty nice. And if you haven't seen the video about the Golf R that I recently bought, you can go to the link on top of the screen and check it out. It's a really cool car. I love it very much, and I'm very excited to start on this project and swapping everything over. Alright, we are almost at the operating temperature, and it's 9:23:24, so just 5 minutes over the required time. So I think it's good enough to shut it off. Okay, now it's time to drain the oil and remove the oil pan. I have to interrupt this video, and I will show you in a moment why. I am editing the video behind that wall, and I just realized that some videos are missing from when I was draining the oil and removing the oil pan. Also the same time when I was installing. The battery died as well, so some footage, the important parts, got lost. So here I am in the garage. I did the job yesterday, editing it today. Here I am. I still have the old oil, didn't put it into the containers, and the old oil filter. So let me show it to you. So here it is. This is the old oil. It is very dark, but there is no sparkles in it. There is no metal, any particles. It was pretty clean in terms of particles. The oil itself, you can see, very dark. But oil filter, on the other hand, did have some dirt in it. Not in this part, but I did came across some parts that, like over here, they can probably see just a little bit. There is some dirt in there, like in here too. So I assume that the oil filter did its job by cleaning all the stuff, and also the engine flush did its job removing all the crap and allowing the filter to catch it. And this is the oil pan, and it did have a lot of oil leaks in this area, and I assume it because this oil pan has been replaced at some point, and someone over tightened these bolts on this side because they were this side was flat. The oil pulley is still flat. There was a lot of oil on this side specifically, not that much on that side, but still some areas it was over tightened. So I hope I tighten it well when I install the new oil pan. Only time will tell. There was no gasket for sale that I could find for the sensor, so I just cleaned it up and sent it. We'll see if that helped. I hope it's not gonna leak. From all the videos that I've checked online before I started this job, no one have ever talked about replacing that seal or even mentioned anything about that seal. So I hope it's fine. Well, we'll have to wait and see. So let's get back to the video. So this is the old oil pan and this is the new oil pan. They look identical, although this one is aftermarket. Who knows, maybe this is also aftermarket. Maybe they already replaced it. I would not be surprised. And it does come with the new gasket already pre-installed. So all I need to do is just unbolt that sensor and bolt it right back in here. And then I can start cleaning things up and installing the new oil pan back in the engine. So my battery on the phone died, so I charged it a little bit so that I can keep you up to date. So the oil pan is installed and torqued to spec. Well, it was not easy because the torque wrench that I have starts from 13.2 Newton meter, and I need it to be at 8. So I think I might have done it a little bit lower, but even at that time I didn't feel that comfortable. So I think the torque is fine. So now I pulled the oil filter. The oil filter looks fine. This does have a lot of dirt in it, and I think it probably from the flush that I just did on the engine. And I'm gonna put new filter, fill it up, and start it up. Also, I'm going to add an engine additive because it's a high mileage car. I'm keeping the battery because the phone is charging. I have this anti-friction engine treatment from Liquid Moly that I'm going to be adding to this engine so that it can run for more. Alright, the oil is filled, filter is in. Now let's start this up and hope it works. Well, it's me again. I guess I was too tired yesterday and it was late when I was doing the job and I forgot to record the ending. So, in conclusion, I was able to reset the oil service and the inspection intervals. It was pretty simple, but I did have to look it up because it's new to me. The engine runs fine, everything as it should, so it's really uneventful episode. So in the next one, I'm gonna be working on a Golf R, replacing the struts, and I did find some other things. So you need to stay tuned to see what happens with that car, because I do want to finish it before it gets snowing, and it's already pretty close to that time. So hopefully next week I'll get the parts to do the job. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye.